Hey guys, I am back, and today we're gonna talk about stability. Yeah, it's a big one. Stability. It's been something that I've been going through the storm right now. And but one thing I can tell you is that I'm not lacking anything. I think in the beginning of everything, I just asked the Lord, please help me completely rely on you, not on circumstances, nor on money. And I remember praying, and he always bring it back to that savings account. And I was in denial. I was like, no, he could not be asking me my savings account. No. And for the third time, same answer. And I finally gave in. I was like, Lord, what do you want me to do with that savings account? So he wanted, like, who do you want me to help? And I was like, I don't know who you want me to help. You got to tell me straight up, who do you want me to help? There was a girl in my life, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know about that, but you're gonna have to tell me specifically. I remember going to work the next day, and then someone came talk to me. I was like, oh, Rose, you gotta pay your electricity. They were about to cut my electricity, blah blah blah. I'm 4 months behind. And that's my direct answer. I end up helping that person. Also, I remember saying, like, I want to trust in God when I have no money in the bank. That's how I want to trust the Lord. And that time is here. That time is right here, right now. But one thing I can tell you is that the math, it doesn't add it up, because God does not let me lack on anything. And for some reason, when I was asking these things, I was like, if work is slow, I can't rely on unemployment. So he find a way to show me, you're relying on employment. He went, and I never had a problem with unemployment, but this time I did had a problem with unemployment. So I'm just like getting paid half of it. It's almost like, he's like, I want you to trust me. I want you to trust me, because I am faithful. I give my 10% to my church, even going through the storm. And I also give offering to this Brazilian church I go on Tuesdays during the week. I am faithful. If I have it, I'll give it. You know what? Because it's about me and him. It's not about me and the church, or me and the pastor, or there's pastor that take money. I do not care. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing what my father's requiring me to do. Because put it this way, say you go to a store, right? Your kid asks for a bag of candy. You get home, your kids are eating the candy, and then you say, can I have one? And some of the kids says, no, I'm not gonna give you one. Knowing that that was your money. You bought her. You have the authority to take it from him, from her, whatever. He still deny it. It's the same thing we do to God. We beg for that job. We beg for that thing we want. And then when it comes to our time to give it back, we don't give it back. Because either we're going to say we don't have it, or there's nothing left. But God honors you first. And this is what we have to do. We have to honor him first with everything. Proverbs 3. Proverbs 3 says, Proverbs 3 verse 9 and 10 says, honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of all your produce. Then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. Meaning, honor God first with everything. Make sure when you get that money, your 10%, it's from Him because He's giving it to you. He's the one. You only have, and He has the authority to take it back anytime He wants. So what I'm trying to say, honor Him first. I am going to a storm, but I lack nothing good. Nothing good. Another Psalm, Psalm 34. Psalm 34 says, 34 verse 10. The young lions suffer and want and hunger, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. No matter what I have, if it's little or no matter the amount, as of right now, if I have $20, I give 10 to this Brazilian church. The other day, they sell coxinha. I think I said that story, and it was $10, but they are building a new church. And my daughter said, why is it $10? Why is it so expensive? Because they are trying to get money to build this new church. They're gonna switch. And I said to her, this is not about the coxinha. This is about you helping God's house, church, and you get a coxinha. Because sometimes people are so, I want you to think about this. Until you learn, and until you have a relationship with God, you're never going to understand. I'm not saying someone is going to come and ask you for money and you're just going to throw money out there. But you need to make sure you have a relationship. You need, you would know the voice of God. You would know. So you also know not to have someone taking advantage of you or anything in that kind. Nobody in that church asked me for money. I did it myself. Because this is a relationship between me and God. So this is what I'm trying to say. My bills are paid. Actually, I was behind my rent last month. And then I remember in prayer, just thinking, God, I just wanted to pay my rent. I just thought about it. I didn't say it. I just thought in my heart. We all know that God gave us the desire of our hearts. 2 days later, I got a check because I usually work in Rhode Island, and I don't even know this check exists. And I got a check for $1,200, so I pay my rent with that check. And I'm although my rent is behind again, but I know this is a phase in my life because I ask Him to rely on Him, not on circumstances, not on my bank account. When you rely on those things, when you hold that money, you can't have two gods. You can only have one. You either have the money as your God or you have God, because He's the one who provides to you. When you hold tight to that bank account, to that circumstances, to this and that, you don't have peace. those things does not give you peace. Once you understand that everything comes from God and everything goes to him, you find peace with that. And my strength as I'm going through this, it's in him. He's my refuge. He's my rock. And I trust and believe that this is a phase I'm going through, but I have to go through this phase. I have to learn these things. I have to stop relying on circumstances, on bank account, on money, on this. I have to, you know, and I will continue to honor him first. He is never, ever not provide. No matter how tough the situation. Some days the situation is tough, guys. It's not all roses, especially going through the storm as I'm going through a tribulation right now. It's like some days it's hard. But you know what? I hold on to this, the truth. John 15, verse 4 through 6 through 5 actually says, abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine. Neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branch. However, whoever actually abides in me, and I in him, it is the bear much fruit. But apart from me, you cannot do nothing. You can't be a branch with separate from the vine. You can't bear fruit unless you're in him. He gives an example because he says, unless the vine, unless the branch it's attached to the vine, you cannot bear fruit, right? Unless we attach to him, abiding to him, we cannot bear fruits. Meaning, like, no matter what the situation I'm in, I am trusting in him. I'm trusting in his words, because he's the truth, the life, and the way. When the storm comes, this is what I'm holding on to, the truth. And I know when I cross this, what I'm going through right now, everything will make sense. But he is making me going through this so I can learn dependency, to depend on him with everything. So I can think about this, guys. If you're doing everything by yourself, if your worry, it's all about your bank account, how much money you have in there, or what you're gonna do, like if you don't have work. See how stressful that is just to think about that? For you to go to this phase when you try to understand what God wants from us, he wants us to rely on him completely. That's when it comes to the peace come. Because when you trust that he's faithful to provide to you, that everything comes from him and goes to him, you no longer care about that bank account. Because in the end of the day, think about this. I don't know how, but with him, when you abide in him and you trust him, you have what you need. You literally have what you need. I have everything I need with a little money. Everything I need. Everything I need. I lack no good thing with him. And with everything, I have the peace within me from him. So today, hold on to this. The promise that he has for us. He wants us to cast all our burdens or our worries to him, onto him, and let him carry for us. Matthew 6 verse 25 says, do not be anxious. Therefore, I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you would eat or what you would drink, nor about your body, what you would put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Meaning, like, what can God do more for us if he can feed the birds? The birds don't have a worry in their mind what they're gonna eat that day, but he still provides to them, right? So does us. Just like my situation right now. Guys, I'm making maybe like 10% of what I make right now weekly. It can barely pay anything. But everything's getting paid because it does not add up, because this is how God is. You always provide to you. You will lack nothing good. But your trust has to be in him. You would think, I go to sleep like worry. No, I have a full night's sleep. And it's sad because I know there's some people out there who have an account with a lot of money and have no peace and have no sleep, no rest. I know it sounds crazy, but I have peace because I trust him. And I know everything I'm going through right now is for a reason, for a purpose. I'm learning something. He's teaching me something. How did they say that he is molding me? You know, he's there's a word for this, and then I can't think of it right now, but I'm gonna think of it. There's a story that Jesus was in the temple, watching people put money, and he says to his disciple, there was like a widow that came and put like a little money, and he says, I say to you, this lady gave more than the rich people that was putting money, because she gave everything she had. And I felt like that woman. I feel like that woman, because I don't have much, but I continue to be faithful to God. I continue to just like give it to him, back to him. And I'm so grateful for everything. And I am so grateful that I want to give him more. And sometimes I get sad that I don't have more to give, you know. And going back about my daughter, about the church, about the kushinha and stuff, and I explained to her, like, that's not about the kushinha, it's about the next time she went to church, she got money to buy something to help, and she got money to offer. And I felt so proud of her, and a little bit proud of me for showing her the right path, you know, like to show her. I know there's a lot of like opinions about what you give to church, what is this and that. Like, guys, there's a guideline. It's like someone is not gonna come to you and be like, oh, God says for you to give this amount. Like, if you don't have a relationship with God, you're never gonna understand that. You're probably gonna be taken advantage of. But there's confirmations. You talk to God and you ask him to confirm things, and nobody's gonna come to me and say, oh, you give me this. No, guys, come on. We need to just like have a better relationship with God to understand how this works. And I know a lot of people got hurt because of that. But my point here is trust him. Honor him first with everything. Make sure you honor him first with everything, because everything comes from him and everything goes to him. So make sure you're everything that you do, you get your paycheck, make sure you think about him first. Just honor him. Then you would see the real prosper. You'll see the real prosperity in God. Not like the world is showing you. But everything God do, it's eternal. It's long term. And I'm telling you today, my message is honor him first. Put him first. And you see your finances, everything. Make a path. The path. And your worries and all that anxiety about this and that, it would go away if you put everything in his hands. Because if you know everything comes from him, he's the one who's given it to you. So you don't have to worry. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about. Because your trust is in him, not in your bank account. Not if you have $1, if you have a $10,000. Your trust should not be in there, but in him. Then you have no worry. With that being said, God bless you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.